the temple and sacrifices of the Old Covenant, of the Old Testament, where does that point to? I mentioned this already. We are the temple. We are the temple of God. And Jesus is our sacrifice, once for all, offered up once for all. Not to be any other sacrifices at any time. Even if you say it's to commemorate or remember what Christ has done. What has He given us to remember what He has done? The Lord's Supper. Not a reinstitution of sacrifices. We are the temple of Christ, the temple of God, because we have Christ. Because He is dwelling within us by His Spirit. So we now offer up our lives, our whole lives, the obedience of faith in every area of life as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. Not so that we can be saved in a moralistic and legalistic fashion. No, because we already are. So that's the outflow of what God has done inwardly in us. So now we want to live the life of obedience of faith. We want to glorify Him in what we do. We're zealous for good works because that's the purpose of redemption, to redeem you from that and to cause you to live a life in obedience. That's the fruit of God's salvation. And that is beautiful when we understand that we are the temple of God. And He is our once for all sacrifice. Is there supposed to be a temple today? Or is it supposed to point forward? The temple in the Old Testament. The temple that was destroyed after Jesus' time. Where is that supposed to point to? A new physical temple where there'll be new sacrifices, red heifers offered up, priests to do that. Guess what? Many people are, quote unquote, planning for this. We should be very, very careful about that. All of Hebrews, the writer of Hebrews is saying, do not go back to that. Do not go back to those sacrifices. And I say the same thing to you. If you are buying into this new temple, the sacrifices, do not go back. Even if you think it's to commemorate and remember, no, the Lord's Supper. That's what God has given us. Do not go back. Do not go back. What is it now? The temple is the people of God. 1 Corinthians 3:17. If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him because God's temple is holy and you are that temple. So again, what's the arrow from the Old Testament, from the Old Covenant regarding the temple and sacrifices? Where is it pointing to? Is it pointing to a physical temple in physical Jerusalem and physical Israel that's supposed to be physically rebuilt? No. No.